Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on a necklace using one of these large pearls, some garnets, and some smaller pearls that will match the earrings, the hoop earrings that we made on my morning live the other day. So let's turn down and I'll show you what I plan on doing with these. I have some white quartz medium soft flex beading wire. I have one ball head pin. Now the ball head pin I'm going to use to make a pendant, which is going to be like the dangle in the middle of our earrings, our hoop earrings. So there is this portion of it. Now I'm just going to loop it, and then we'll set it aside. I am going to have to find a bail, a silver bail, to hook this to once I get to the point where I need to put that on. I am going to do what I normally do, and that is I'm going to use just string on the spool, though I could, since I know how long I want to make this necklace, I could just cut the wire if I chose to. So now I could just hang this straight from the wire too, rather than using a bail. I just prefer a bail, so that's what I will do, of course. So there is our little pendant. We're going to set it aside. We don't need it until we get to the end. So there is our little. And what we're going to do as far as our necklace is concerned is we're going to start with a garnet. If I can find the hole, of course. I'm going to put a bead stopper on the end here so that they won't slide right down into the spool here, so that I can see what we're doing here. And then since we have two spacers there, we're going to put two more spacers. And we're going to go garnet, pearl, 3 garnets, and a pearl. And that's mainly because I have a lot more garnet than I have pearl. So we want to make sure that we're going to have enough pearls for our necklace. Well, where is your hole, darling? Oh, there it is. And I'm putting 2 spacers between each one because it's 2 spacers we used up there on our pendant piece. So like I said, we're just going to go with, now we'll have another pearl. And then we're going to, of course, get their 2 spacers, but then we're going to do, instead of going right back to another pearl, we're going to go 3 garnets. 3 garnets, not 3 spacers. Now these garnets are, of course, all different sizes because they are nuggets. This hole is wonky. There it is. So they won't necessarily, I don't like where that hole's coming out, so we're going to trade it for a different one. They won't necessarily be the same size. This is another one that the hole is coming out in a weird spot. So this one is not much better, but it is better. So now what we do after I get the third garnet on here is we're going to then do pearl, garnet, pearl, like this section, and then go back to the 3 so that we have a nice pattern going. This is going to be a really simple but delicate little necklace, but I think it's going to be lovely. So now we're going back to the 3 garnets. Now I'm going to make this about 22 inches, so we'll be doing about 10.5, 11 inches on this side. And then we will go to the other side. Isn't that lovely? It's going to be so delicate and pretty. Now we need to get some more pearls off the line here. And it looks like I only have one spacer here, so we need to get the spacers out of the... Oh, there's another pearl escaping over here. Out of my box. And I'll probably have to go and get my tube of them out so I can refill this. But that's all right. One more of these. Garnets. Come on, garnets. So as I said, we're just going to go up the line with this pattern. So now we're going to the 3 garnets until we get about 10.5 to 11 inches here. And I'll measure this in just a moment. So I know this is probably no more than 9 inches, if even that. So let's see what it is. I don't think it's even 9. It's probably close to 8. Yeah, it is 8. So we need at least 2 or 3 more inches on this side. We're going to have to give ourselves some line here because we're getting low on my edge here. So and when we get done with this side, we will put the bail on and move to the center of and go onto the other side. I have an extra spacer right here. We don't want that. Actually, I have an extra 2 spacers right here. So since we're way closer to this side than this side, we'll wait till we get this side finished, and then we'll take those extra 2 out on that from that side instead of trying to do it from this side and having to take out a lot of space instead of just a little bit. I'm going to put a bead stopper on this side, and we're going to measure it again. It is now over 11 inches. So I'm going to take these 2 extra off out of here, which will bring it up just a hair's breadth. It still will be over 11, so I will probably drop off this last garnet on this side over here so that it's not. So in fact, I'll drop it in 1 spacer. Roll it down there, and then we are, oops, come here you. By the time we get those 2 extra spacers out, we'll be at our 11 inches. So now I'm going to take my bead stopper, roll it down, then we're going to get some more line out. And it might be just about all the line we have on this spool. So it looks like it's pretty close to the end. So since it is close to the end, we may just take it all. Yeah, that's the end right there. So it's not that much longer, maybe about 3 or 4 inches. And since that would be no use to anything, we will just finish up this line. We'll give this side just a little bit more since I know we're going to have more than we need. And then we're going to get on this side. We're going to open this up We're going to take it up to here so we can take that those extra 2 spacers out. I knocked something on the floor. I thought at first it was my beads, and I thought, no, it can't be. You've got the bead stopper on. So now we'll take the extra 2 spacers out, put them in the pile over here, and put these all back on. Now, that's always one reason you should just sort of every once in a while just look at what you've got going on and take anything extra, fix everything before you get to the point where you're crimping stuff. So So there we go. We've got it back to its halfway point. Now it's time to find a bail, and I will probably find some tiny white seed beads to put underneath the bail so that it doesn't cause any problems. So let's go find us a bail and some little white seed beads, and we'll get going and finish this baby up. Okay, so I went and I got a bail, pretty little bail, and then I got some the 11-aught Toho white seed beads. Probably only going to need those 3 I put out there. Those are simply to keep the bail from wiggling around too much. So we'll put those 3 on here. Now, if you don't like the seed bead trick, you can always put rubber tubing in your bail as well. So put let's see here. Yeah, 3 looks like it's going to be about perfect. So then we're going to put another silver spacer in. And then we're just going to put a garnet in, and we'll follow this same pattern that we used on the other side, on this side, to go up the row. So we'll go the garnet, the 2 daisy spacers, looks like, oh, we do have a few pearls still out. Pearl, Now we're at the garnet, which I do believe I need to drop some more off of our cord here. I think I'll just take them all off. Oop, careful. You'll have garnets all over the floor, Rose. Okay, so we're just going to now go grab one of these garnets. Two of the spacers. Pearl. And then we'll just start following the pattern right up the line, just like this side. Now we will have to watch it when we get closer to the end, but because the pearls and the garnets are natural cuts, they're not going to be the same size, so you may end up needing to have switching out some of your garnets or pearls for either a smaller garnet or a larger garnet or something like that. We're right here. We're going to go up the line here, and then we'll see when we get to the end if we need to make some adjustments to length because of whatever our garnets and pearls are doing as we go up the line. I'm going to need 4 more beads from this package since these drill holes were off kilter more than I wanted to use them. Otherwise, one package would have been perfect because that's 4 that I need left. But we don't want the off kilter beads, so though if I were to use those off-kilter ones, they would be in the back. How far off-kilter are they? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I want to use them. I think I'd rather just open up this next strand and get a few off of it. One more. Oh, one more fell off. Good. So we'll put these all back in here. Actually, it looks like 2 more fell off. That's all right. We'll get things put away here in a bit. But, so we need to go through the 3 garnets now. Come on, you. And actually, it's looking like it's staying pretty good as far as length is concerned from side to side. So I'm not real worried about that. So, oops, let's see. Yep, staying pretty good. So we just need to put on 1 more garnet and 2 more pearls. And as you can see, we're pretty consistent. I've got hold of down here where it's the middle. We're a touch off on this side. This side's a little shorter. And we could change that, fix that probably by taking out, going to this side over here. Not both, just one. And we're going to take out this larger garnet right here and trade it for this smaller one. And then put our pearl back on. And I believe we'll be right at about where, yeah, they're pretty even now. So I'm just going to, as you can see, I have quite a bit of extra line here, and that's fine. That was just because I used the last of the spool up. So we'll put it together. This is a good stone, so we'll put it over here. Well, these stones are also good. I just don't like their drill holes. So, and we have a couple of pearls that are going with you. So now we need to put our pendant on, and it'll be done other than its clasp. The next step is to put our dangle down here at the bottom. So we'll just get a jump ring and put these two together, and then the dangle is put in place. So we just need, I'm going to go with a number 6 oval jump ring. So we'll just open that up. And we'll put this baby on and close her up. So there's our dangle on the bottom of our necklace. Really simple, very pretty, elegant little thing. Now I'm going to find a couple of crimp tubes. This is pretty lightweight. We don't need a double crimp. A single one is fine. And even if I were to try to do a double, I'd have to use like one of these 6/0 seed beads in the top up there to do it, because you have to have something to go through. And let's face it, it's not going through these little pearls a second time. It won't work. I am fully aware of that fact, and I'm actually thinking I'm going to put a second jump ring there so I can go through the jump rings for my extra, so my cord can go through something other than just be cut right off. So we'll get our pieces off right here. We'll put the extra daisy spacer on either side. And then we'll actually put our crimp tube on right now as well. I'm going to crimp from this side, which has got the smaller side first. Didn't I just stick that crimp? I thought I just put the crimp on there, but it's not there. That's strange. Huh. Well, we'll put it on again. It's over here. It must have fallen off. So we're going to, we'll crimp this side first, since this has got the shorter wire, and I don't feel like wasting a lot of wire. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make a loop here on the end of our soft legs. We'll go through these first two and then we're just going to bring this up here to where it's just a loop here, and we're going to crimp it. That loop is where we're going to put our jump rings at for however we decide to use, whatever clasp we decide to use. Oh, there went my knuckles. So then we'll just go around in a circle until it's not squishing anymore. Test to make sure it's not going to slip. It's not. So now I'm going to take my flush cutters, and I'm going to roll right up to where this is coming out of this spacer and clip it off. Then we'll roll all our beads over to that side. Since we already have our crimp tube on there, we'll just go through it. I think this crimp tube may be damaged. It looks a little wonky at the end, so I'm going to pull it off and throw it away and get us a new one out. I'd rather replace one than use one that's damaged. Now these are actually beadle-on 2x2 crimps that I usually only use beadle-on or Softflex crimp tubes. I think I may have used Bead Smith once or twice too, but usually it's one of those. I don't use a cheap crimp ever because they'll break when you're doing your crimp. I also don't use wire guardians usually because, for one thing, Softflex doesn't really need them. They're a really strong wire, and they do have a coating on them to protect them. So I'm not worried about that. And the other reason is because I once had a bracelet break right at the wire guardian. A wire guardian, you're introducing another piece of metal. You don't really think about it too much, but you are. A wire guardian is a piece of metal, and so it can have spurs on it, just like any other piece of metal can. So you gotta, if you are going to use wire guardians, and I'm not saying don't, because you can. I just don't. I would advise always running your finger along the ends because, like I said, it is a piece of metal. You can it can have a spur, and if it has a spur, it will chonk into your wire. So just like any other piece of metal would. So here we go. We have this portion all done. All we need to do now to finish up our necklace is put on a clasp. So now we're going to finish this off with a lobster claw. Now I have tested to make sure it's working fine, and it is. So all we're going to do is put the lobster claw on one side with this 6mm oval jump ring. We'll just put it through this hoop, the loop we left here, and then put it right on here, close her up. And then we're just going to put this larger one on the other side as its connector. Now, Softflex does state that if you wanted, you could just make a bigger loop and you could hook your lobster claw right to the other side rather than jump ring it. And you could use a bigger loop of wire to hook onto. Now, I use a jump ring because, well, at least for the lobster claw, because your lobster claw is got a spring inside there, and it can break. So I use the I use the jump ring to make sure that it doesn't break. So there we go. She's all finished. Isn't she pretty? I like it a lot. I hope you do. I think it turned out really well. These are the earrings that are to match it. See, that little dangle here is the same. Here, we'll take it out of the plastic so you can see it better. But as you can see, we have the hoop, and then our dangle that's in our necklace here is in the middle of our hoop here, so that they match each other. So there is our necklace that I made specifically because we've made the earrings earlier, and I wanted to match it somewhat. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed making this necklace with me. I enjoyed making it, so I think it's really nice. It's very delicate, but pretty darn elegant in my opinion. So there's our necklace, all finished. It's got the lobster claw closure, our pretty pearl and garnet, and then of course our little dangle at the bottom. Isn't that pretty? And it did end up being, let's see, from there to there is 22 inches, just like we wanted it to be. Oh, actually, I think we were going for 20, weren't we? Well, it's 22, so we'll just have to live with 22. But I think 22 is a nice length. So there we go. It's all finished. I think it's very pretty. I hope you enjoyed making it with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we've been making this beautiful pearl and garnet necklace with items from my stash. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.